Reticulocyte production index. So the reticulocyte production index is an important calculation that every one of you all should know to grade the regenerative response. A regenerative response is the time taken by the bone marrow to compensate anemia by producing and releasing immature erythrocytes into the circulation. So before we learn about RPI index, we need to learn about two important formulas. The first one is absolute reticulocyte and corrected reticulocyte percentage. So the absolute reticulocyte count is obtained by multiplying reticulocyte percentage and total number of RBCs and 10. Corrected reticulocyte percentage value is obtained by the product of retic percentage and PCV, and the whole value should be divided by the average PCV. So the average PCV varies from species to species. For dog, the average PCV is 45, and for cat, the average PCV is 37. You need to remember this. And the third and the most important formula is RPI index. The results are obtained by dividing the corrected reticulocyte percentage by the reticulocyte maturation time. So the reticulocyte maturation time is inversely proportional to the PCV. If the PCV is really low, then RMT is going to be high, because if the anemia is very severe, like very very severe anemia where the PCV is less than 15%, then the time required for the bone marrow to produce immature erythrocytes, and those immature erythrocytes will take another 2 or 3 days to become a mature erythrocyte, and then those mature erythrocytes will compensate anemia. So this time is going to be long if the anemia is severe. So for a patient with PCV somewhere between 36 and 45, the RMT value is going to be 1. If the patient's PCV is somewhere between 26 and 35, the RMT is going to be 1.5. If the PCV is somewhere between 16 and 25, then RMT is going to be 2. And if the patient is having PCV less than 15, then the RMT value is going to be 2.5. So the PCV decreases, RMT increases. So the PCV decreases by 10, RMT increases by 0.5. This is the easiest way to remember this tabular column. After you have calculated the RPI value, you will get the value somewhere between 0 to 3 or 4. And the interpretation is as follows. If the RPI value is somewhere between 0 to 1, then it indicates that there is no response to anemia. So this commonly happens in non-regenerative anemia or peracute profound regenerative anemia, where the RBC destruction is happening at a much faster rate than the body could actually respond to it. So that's the very very peracute hemolysis can actually show like signs of non-regenerative anemia for some time. That's all. If the RPI value is somewhere between 1 and 2, then it indicates that there is regeneration, but it is inadequate. If the RPI index is somewhere between 2 and 3, then it indicates that there is a response. The anemia is responsive, but we don't know whether it is due to hemorrhage or hemolysis. If the RPI value is more than 3, we know that it is responsive, and we also know that it can only happen in hemolytic anemias. So whenever you are actually dealing with immune mediated hemolytic anemia cases, the RPI value will always be above 3. So we have a case here. So this CBC is obtained from a 4-year-old female spayed Cocker Spaniel. Okay, so we need to calculate the RPI index and we need to grade the anemia. So yeah, so the formula is PCV multiplied by retic percentage divided by the average PCV. Here it is dog, so it is going to be 45, and everything is going to be divided by the RMT, correction factor. So here the PCV is 7.1, retic percentage is 16.5 divided by 45, and everything should be divided by the RMT. According to the previous tabular column, RMT, the PCV less than 15, if the PCV is less than 15, then the RMT correction factor is 2.5. So everything should be divided by 2.5. So 7.1 multiplied by 16.5 divided by 45, and everything divided by 2.5 is going to be, the result is 1.04. So RMT is only 1.04. So we know that if the RMT is between 1 and 2, then the regeneration is inadequate. So here the body is trying to compensate, but it is not doing enough. So maybe we need to recheck the CBC, or we need to proceed with the blood transfusion, because the hemoglobin is only 2 and PCV is 7. So there is no way the body can actually compensate. So this is a perfect candidate for blood transfusion. So we have a case number 2. So this is from a 6-year-old male canine mixed breed dog. So here the PCV value is 9.3 and the retic value is 47.7. Okay, and you need to divide it by, since it is a dog, it is 45, and everything divided by, yeah, so since here also the PCV is less than 15, so the correction factor is 2.5. So 9.3 multiplied by 47.7 and everything divided by 45, and the whole product divided by 2.5 is 3.9. Are you all with me? So 3.9. The RPI for this patient is 3.5. Okay, so as we know that RPI more than 3 can only occur in hemolysis. So this dog can actually have an ongoing immune mediated hemolytic anemia, so we need to actually proceed in diagnosing what is causing hemolysis, whether the hemolysis is extravascular or intravascular, and we should also rule out the blood parasites, because Babesia gibsoni can cause intravascular hemolysis. And if you're suspecting immune mediated hemolytic anemia, you can actually do a Coombs test to confirm it. So now you would have actually understood the importance of this RPI index, because it helps us to grade the anemia, and it also helps in designing the treatment and further investigation for the patient. Okay, I hope this video was informative. Thank you so much for watching. Please keep practicing this RPI index whenever you are free. Thank you.